Revealed. The incredible moment I discovered my wife's hidden secret at my son-in-law's gate. Nathan walked home that rainy evening, his boots squelching in the puddles along the cracked sidewalk. The downpour mirrored the turmoil inside his heart. A mechanic by trade, a war veteran by circumstance, every day felt like a battle. And tonight the fight was louder than ever. His daughter Amanda had married into wealth, and the chasm between their worlds widened with each glitzy event she attended. The laughter and luxury felt foreign to him, a painful reminder of how far they'd strayed from their humble roots. His father's sacrifices etched in his memory like a badge of honor that as he strolled past the ornate gate of his son-in-law's mansion, something caught his eye, a letter, crumpled and wedged beneath the wrought iron. Hesitant yet curious, he stooped to retrieve it. The elegant script that filled the pages sent shivers down his spine. It told of a hidden past, a connection that twisted his stomach into knots. Words like "forgive me" and "I never meant to hurt you" leaped out, intertwining with mentions of a life he thought he knew. This was no chance find. It was a Pandora's box of emotions waiting to be unleashed. His heart raced as he absorbed the shocking truth. Linda, his beloved wife, had a history woven into the very fabric of Amanda's affluent in-laws. Betrayal stung like the biting rain against his cheek. Why hadn't Linda told him? Were their moments together built on lies? Each memory, once filled with love, now felt tainted by doubt. He stumbled home, the weight of his discovery crashing down over him like the storm clouds above. As Nathan pushed the door open, the familiar scent of Linda's cooking did little to quell the tightness in his chest. They exchanged small talk, the kind where silence hung heavy. He anticipated warmth; instead, he felt only the cold distance of unspoken truths. Days turned into sleepless nights, their home cloaked in tension. The whispers from their small-town community clung to him like shadows, everyone rallying behind him, offering support that felt both comforting and suffocating. It was as if the entire world was judging his every move, their loyalty residing in his steadfast character. But within his home, a storm raged, a tempest of emotions. Could he forgive Linda? Could their marriage survive the truth that clawed at them? At last, he found himself at a gala, meant to celebrate Amanda's new path in life, yet heavy with the expectation of smiles and pleasantries. The air buzzed with laughter, and the grand chandeliers cast an opulent glow over the polished floors. But Nathan felt like a stranger in a dream he never wanted to enter. Voices escalated. He could no longer hold back. In that charged moment, he confronted both Linda and the wealthy family that had become so entwined with his life. Emotions erupted, and with each heated exchange, the truth came flooding out. Secrets and sacrifices spun like a web between them. Linda revealed her motivations, her voice trembling yet fierce. She had fought demons to shield their family from pains past, wanting only to protect what they'd built together. Her love had led her to make decisions that ultimately cast shadows on their trust, and there he stood, grappling with the painful realities of love and loyalty. As the crowd murmured with disbelief and intrigue, Nathan's heart raced. Would he cling to the ideals he prized so dearly, or embrace the flawed, beautiful truth of the woman he loved? Unknown to him, a revelation awaited, a choice that could change everything. How far would he go to mend their fractured bond? As he gazed into Linda's eyes, filled with vulnerability, he realized the true battle lay ahead. Would he step toward love or linger in the dark? The light seemed to dim in Nathan's mind as he stared at Linda, her eyes wide and glistening with unshed tears. Around them, laughter mingled with clinking glasses, a stark contrast to the heaviness in their exchange. He felt as if they were on a deserted island, surrounded by a sea of faces that couldn't possibly fathom the storm within them. Suddenly, the applause that erupted for Amanda felt distant and hollow. The joyous voices of celebration felt like daggers, cutting deeper into him. How could everyone be so blissfully unaware of the chaos brewing just a few steps away? You have to understand, Nathan, Linda pleaded, stepping closer, her voice barely rising above the clamor around them. I never wanted this to come between us. Then why didn't you tell me? His own words hung between them, sharp and raw. This isn't just about you anymore. It's about us. About our family. He watched her flinch at his volume, realization dawning this was her burden too, perhaps the heaviest of them all. The delicate balance of their life together teetered, threatened by secrets they should have faced together long ago. With a sigh, she brushed her hair back, her fingers trembling. I thought I was protecting you, protecting our family from chaos. I was so wrong. The anguish in her voice struck deep, knocking the breath from his lungs. As fragile as the moment felt, his heart quaked with a mixture of anger and sympathy. A part of him wanted to recoil from this painful revelation, to protect himself from hurt, but another part, a quiet, persistent voice, urged him towards understanding. Nathan, please, she whispered, taking a step forward. Give me a chance to explain. Not just about the past, but about the love that brought us here. Around them, the party raged on, blissfully unaware of the emotional civil war brewing. But for Nathan, the cacophony faded, replaced by the raw silence of their connection, the pain and love intricately woven. Every time I looked at Amanda in that glitzy world, Linda continued, her voice barely a whisper, I saw my past and it terrified me. I was afraid she'd know that she'd find out the truth about her grandparents and the shadows that linger over their fortune. I thought if I kept quiet I could protect her and you. The implications of her words sank in. The wealth they had come to enjoy, the manor, the celebrations, each moment was shadowed by a hidden truth tied to their family's history. Protect her from what? Nathan's heart pounded in his chest. Did the legacy Linda carried with her have the power to unravel everything both had built together? What's the truth? As he pressed for answers, a small gathering of spectators began to steal glances their way. Whispers floated through the air, a blend of concern and curiosity laced with judgment. They were not just spectators. They were also part of his life, and the risks of exposing Linda's truth could ripple through it all. Let us go outside, Nathan urged, the words slipping from his mouth before he could reconsider. He needed to confront this together, away from prying eyes, where the weight of their truths would only echo between them. Steeling himself, he guided Linda towards the back patio, the open night air cooling the heat of their unresolved emotions. Staring out into the sprawling view of twinkling city lights, he braced himself, uncertainty and dread intertwining in his chest. Now tell me everything. As Nathan prepared to unravel the truth that could change both their lives, a sudden flicker of headlights caught his eye. A familiar car pulled up, its engine hum vibrating through the night, a potential intruder into their fragile moment. As the driver emerged from the car, tension tightened in Nathan's stomach. Just who might this newcomer be, and what would they bring to the unfolding chaos? Would it lead to closure or just pile on more layers of confusion? Nathan's breath hitched as he squinted into the darkness, trying to make out the figure stepping out of the sedan. The sound of laughter and celebration from inside the manor faded even further, leaving only the quiet rustle of leaves and the distant hum of the city. Who is it? Linda's voice wavered, concern evident in her eyes as she looked from Nathan to the approaching figure. Not sure, he murmured, but a sickening feeling coiled in his stomach. The last thing they needed was an unexpected visitor to complicate things even further. As the stranger moved closer, Nathan recognized her, a woman from his business meetings, someone who had once paid him a casual compliment about his family. She had an easy smile and a way of making others feel at ease, but right now, the joviality of her presence felt like a storm cloud blocking the moonlight. Sarah, Nathan finally said, his voice strained. What are you doing here? Hey, Nathan, she greeted, her cheerful demeanor contrasting sharply with the tension around him. I was just dropping off some paperwork for the Foundation's latest event. Is it a bad time? Nathan glanced at Linda, anxiety twisting his insides. We're in the middle of something important. Realizing the strain in his tone, Sarah's smile faltered. Oh, I see. I can come back later if you'd like. No, it's okay. Linda stepped forward, her voice surprisingly steady. What do you need, Sarah? Before they could think of a way to brush her off politely, Sarah glanced between them, her brow furrowing with concern. You two look intense. Everything all right? Tension crackled in the air. Neither of them could fully articulate the whirlwind of emotions swirling within, and they both felt vulnerable under her gaze. It's just a family matter, Nathan said, forcing a calmness he didn't feel. Can it wait? Sarah hesitated before nodding slowly. Of course. Just wanted to deliver this. I didn't mean to intrude. She handed over a sleek folder, her expression softening. You know, I was always impressed by how you balance everything, Nathan. If you need anything, just let me know. Her words hung heavy in the air, giving Nathan a feeling of scrutiny he wasn't ready for. He sighed, feeling cornered. He gently took the folder from her grasp, then glanced back at Linda, who was visibly fidgeting. "Thanks," he managed, but the moment felt wrong, like a minor note in a symphony that was about to take a dramatic turn. "I should go," Sarah said, taking a step back, her tone friendly, but Nathan couldn't shake the feeling she sensed the undercurrents of their conversation. As she turned to leave, Linda breathed out, distraught. "This is exactly what I was trying to avoid, a life on display. Everyone peeking in when we're at our most vulnerable." Nathan's heart softened at her pain. He took her hands, grounding her amidst the chaos. "We'll get through this. You just need to tell me everything." With the city lights flickering like stars in the night behind them, Linda took a deep breath, her resolve forming. "I will, Nathan. But first, I need to know how much of this works as a safety net. What if sharing the truth shatters everything?" Nathan's heart raced, battling between hope and fear. "I don't know. But if we don't face it together, we'll lose everything." And just as he said those words, an uneasy energy shifted between them, charged with potential and threat. With the weight of their shared secrets hanging in the air, the night felt poised on the edge of revelation. Then, without warning, a faint but determined voice cut through the cool evening air. "Mom? Dad? Are you out here?" It was Amanda. The door creaked as she stepped onto the patio, looking for them. Nathan's heart sank. Would they get the clarity they desperately needed? Or would this moment simply slip through their fingers, lost again to the chaos of their lives? As the darkness wrapped around them, Nathan's resolve hardened. There was no backing down now. The echoes of footsteps echoed louder. Urgency pressed against his heart. Would their family stand together or be pulled apart in the wake of truth? Amanda's voice broke through Nathan's swirling thoughts like lightning on a stormy night. He turned to see her standing at the door, her innocent expression contrasting starkly with the tension clouding the air. She was wrapped in a light sweater, hair slightly tousled as she stepped out into the dim light, her brow furrowed in confusion. "Is everything okay?" she asked, glancing from Nathan to Linda. Her eyes darted to the folder still clutched in Nathan's hand. Linda glanced nervously at Nathan, searching for reassurance in his eyes. He forced a smile, but it felt brittle. "Yeah, everything's fine, sweetie. We were just—" he hesitated, the weight of countless unspoken words pressing down on him. "Just talking," Linda finished with a shaky breath. "Or working things out." Amanda stepped closer, her concern deepening as she studied their faces. "It doesn't seem like just talking. Are you sure? You know you can tell me anything, right?" The sincerity in her voice tugged at Nathan's heartstrings. He thought about how much he wanted to protect her from whatever storm was brewing in his marriage. But as he glanced at Linda, her eyes glimmered with an unexpected strength. "We know, honey," he replied, choosing his words carefully. "But some things are bigger than they seem." Amanda crossed her arms, taking a step back, an intrigued smile creeping onto her lips. "Bigger than a family argument? Come on, give me a little credit." Nathan chuckled nervously, this moment of levity feeling like a breath of fresh air before the inevitable storm. "Just family business. But trust me when I say it's nothing we can't handle." "Then why do you both look like you just saw a ghost?" Amanda challenged lightly, but there was truth in her probing gaze. "She's got a point," Linda interjected softly. "We've had some difficult conversations tonight." Nathan's heart thudded loudly as he watched Linda's composure slip. The moment felt fragile, as if the slightest push could shatter the delicate understanding they each held. "Maybe it's time we let you in on what's really going on," he said slowly, each word heavy with potential. "If we're going to navigate this, Amanda should know." Linda's eyes widened, a look of surprise mingled with fear. "Nathan, are you sure?" The determination in his chest solidified. "She deserves the truth, Linda." As Amanda took a deep breath, the atmosphere crackled with urgency. "What is it? You're really starting to worry me." Nathan shared a glance with Linda, their unspoken bond flickering like a candle flame in the intense night air. "We just need to explain about your uncle's situation. And how that relates to us. To you." Amanda's expression shifted from concern to confusion. "Uncle's situation? What are you talking about?" "We can do this together," Nathan told Linda, giving her hand a gentle squeeze. "It's time to stop hiding." As they moved to sit at the patio table, Nathan felt an overwhelming need to shield his daughter from the weight of the truth, yet knew that honesty was their only refuge now. He could see in Amanda's eyes that her curiosity had transformed into something deeper, an awareness that would change everything. Just as he opened his mouth to speak, the rustle of leaves echoed around them, and the distant city sounds became a muted backdrop to their heavy silence. Mom, Dad, whatever this is, I'm ready to hear it. Just promise me you're not going anywhere. The heartfelt plea hung in the air, a promise of unity teetering on the brink of revelation. Nathan's heart thudded as he steadied his voice, preparing to shatter the illusion they built. Okay, Amanda. Hear us the truth. But before he could finish, a loud crash rang out from inside the house, silencing them all. What was the chaos crashing through the door? Were their secrets about to be exposed even before they had the chance to share? Amanda's eyes widened in alarm as the sound reverberated through the air. Nathan shot a quick glance at Linda, who looked equally startled. The fragile moment they were holding onto shimmered like glass, ready to shatter. Stay here, Nathan urged, his protective instincts kicking in. He rose from the table, heart racing as he moved toward the house, Amanda's worried eyes following him. Dad, wait, she called, but he didn't. He looked back. He needed to figure out what had happened, the urgency pulling him deeper into the unknown. The living room lay in disarray. A framed picture had fallen from the wall, glass shattered across the floor like a broken promise. He scanned the room, tension curling in his stomach. Hello? His voice echoed off the walls, brittle and unsure. Nathan? The voice came from the kitchen. It was Mark, Amanda's boyfriend. I am sorry. I knocked something over while I was cleaning. Relief flooded through Nathan, but it was short-lived. What were you doing in here? Mark stepped out, his hands raised in surrender. I thought I'd surprise Amanda with something, you know? And I just knocked over the vase. He took a shaky breath, his eyes darting around, hoping to diffuse the tension. Is she out there? Mark asked, glancing past Nathan toward the patio. Yeah, she is, Nathan replied, though he sensed something off in Mark's demeanor. Are you okay? Yeah, just a little clumsy, I guess, Mark replied with a forced laugh, but the tightness around his eyes told a different story. Nathan hesitated, then returned to the patio, where Amanda stood, visibly shaken. It was just Mark. He paused, searching for the right words. Yes, okay. Amanda's shoulders relaxed slightly, but her worry didn't waver. I thought it was something worse. Like she trailed off, the weight of earlier conversations looming between them. I know, Nathan said, settling back into his chair, but we need to talk. We won't let anything stand in our way. He motioned with his hand, inviting Linda to join them at the table. Linda's hand trembled slightly as she placed it on the warm wood. Okay, she said, her voice steadying. Let us just take a deep breath together. They all inhaled, the air crisp and tinged with the smell of impending rain. Nathan locked eyes with Amanda, full of unspoken words. Amanda, your uncle, I get it, she interrupted, leaning forward, urgency underlying her voice. But can we just acknowledge that something feels different tonight? It's not just about Uncle Ben, right? There's more here, isn't there? Her intuition struck Nathan again, hammering home the importance of honesty. He could see that she was ready to confront whatever truth lay ahead, and in that moment, everything felt more significant than just family drama. Okay, you're right, Nathan admitted, the burden of hidden truths pressing down on him. It's everything. Your uncle's situation isn't just an isolated incident. It's connected to our family, to us. Amanda looked at Linda, fear mixing with determination. What's really going on? Before either of them could respond, a phone buzzed loudly from Nathan's pocket, cutting through the rising tension. He pulled it out, the screen lighting up with a name that sent chills down his spine. Who is it? Amanda asked, eyes narrowing. Ben, Nathan said, the name hanging in the air like an unwelcome guest. As he stared at the screen, dread pooled in his gut. The call was from Ben's number, but something told him this might be more than just a regular check-in. Take the call, Linda urged, her voice low, fraught with the same anxiety pulling at Nathan's chest. Maybe it's nothing, Dad, please. Answer it. Amanda's voice was steady, a grounding force in the whirlwind. Taking a deep breath, Nathan swiped to answer, unsure of what awaited him. The moment felt suspended in time. Ben, what do you need? He asked, his voice betraying the tension in his gut. Ben's voice crackled through, thick with urgency. I need to tell you something important about your marriage. Nathan's heart began to race. The truth he feared was inching closer by the second. What revelation awaited him on the other end? Would it shatter everything they thought they knew? A cold wave of apprehension washed over Nathan as Ben's words hung in the air, wrapping around him like a noose. He could hear his heartbeat pounding in his ears, each thump a nagging reminder of the truth lurking just beyond his reach. About my marriage? Nathan echoed, trying to regain composure. He felt Amanda's eyes drilling into him, her anxiety palpable. In this moment he wished for courage, for the right words, something to ease the tension. Yes, it's important, Nathan. You need to listen carefully. Ben's voice was strained. Waited. There's something you don't know. Something you should have known a long time ago. What do you mean? Nathan's voice cracked slightly as a tightening sensation clutched his throat. Every nerve ending in his body was aflame. He quickly glanced at Linda, who was now leaning in, her expression a mix of concern and curiosity. It's about Julia, your wife, Ben continued, his voice almost a whisper now. I've been keeping this secret for her sake, but it's time for the truth. Panic surged through Nathan. Julia had always been a source of stability, a constant in their lives. But what could possibly be hidden well enough for even Ben to know? Just tell me, Nathan urged, feeling a knot form in his stomach. Julia, she has been seeing someone. I didn't want to believe it at first, but I've seen the evidence, messages, meetings. It's serious. The room spun around Nathan as disbelief crashed over him. The thought of betrayal felt like a punch to his gut. Who's the person? He hardly recognized his own voice. It was both curious and terrified. Honestly, Nathan, I don't have the names. It's been kept in shadows. But it isn't what you think. It may not be as cut and dry. With each word, Nathan felt the ground beneath him shift, the world tilting at an alarming angle. You're saying there's more to it? What do you mean? He could see Amanda's face grow pale, the color draining away as she processed what was unfolding. Beside her, Linda's brow furrowed in concern, perhaps recalling their own conversations about trust and love. Nathan, what I'm saying is Julia never wanted this to come out. She has been through a lot lately, and this isn't just about infidelity. This goes deeper. As Ben's words sank in, Nathan's heart ached not just from the idea of betrayal, but from a dawning realization that his wife, the woman he thought he knew, might have layers he never understood. Why are you telling me this now? Nathan's voice was heavy, choked with emotions he didn't know how to navigate. Why not before? Because it took me time to piece things together, and I thought I could help her. But she's in over her head, and you need to confront the truth, for your own good and for Amanda's. Nathan struggled to process everything, feeling the weight of family aside from his own. Was Amanda right? Did they need to confront deeper issues? Listen, I need you to think about this carefully, Ben said, his voice steadier now, laced with a hint of urgency. You need to ask Julia the right questions. Don't let this destroy you before you know the full story. Nathan nodded, even if Ben couldn't see it, feeling resolve begin to churn in him. I will. Thank you for telling me, Nathan replied, his voice barely a whisper. Just take care of yourself, okay? This is going to shake foundations. I have a feeling it's not just about Julia. As the call ended, silence enveloped the patio like a suffocating blanket. Nathan's heart felt heavy, words unspoken lingering in the air. He turned to face Amanda and Linda, the truth settling in like a storm cloud ready to burst. What just happened? Amanda finally said, her voice shaky yet firm. Nathan looked into his daughter's eyes, the shadows of uncertainty and fear reflected within them. He knew they were standing on the precipice of something crucial, something that might change them forever. What I have to tell you, it's going to change everything. Would they be prepared to face the truth? Or would it push them further apart? Nathan's stomach churned as he took in Amanda's worried gaze. The way she looked at him made it feel like the walls were closing in. They had always been a family bound by trust, but this was a fissure that seemed impossible to bridge. Dad, Amanda said slowly, searching his face for answers he didn't have. What do you really know? His mind raced. What could he say that wouldn't break her? Or send her spiraling into despair? He took a deep breath, letting the air fill his lungs, steadier this time. I just got off the phone with Ben. He said Mom's been seeing someone. Linda's hand flew to her mouth, muffling a gasp. She had always been protective of her family, and now she looked like a wounded bird. What? That can't be, there must be some mistake. No, it's serious. I don't know the details, he replied, feeling a lump forming in his throat. The weight of his own words pressed heavily on his chest. Ben, didn't he give me names? But there's more going on, Amanda. He said it goes deeper than just cheating. Amanda caught his eye, and for a brief moment, they shared an unspoken understanding of the fear brewing between them. Why would she hide this from us? I wish I knew, Nathan replied, shaking his head. Maybe she thought she was protecting us or herself. The silence stretched between them, thick and suffocating. Nathan felt his phone vibrate in his pocket, a message from Julia. A wordless reminder of a woman who now seemed more like a stranger. He didn't dare look at it. Linda broke the silence, her voice barely above a whisper. What if she's in trouble? The thought hit Nathan like a punch. What if she is? Panic gripped him. Could her actions be a cry for help? He thought of Julia, her laughter, the way she tucked her hair behind her ear when she was nervous, the countless evenings spent wrapped in each other's arms. But then the reality of her duplicity clawed at him. What if this wasn't about him at all? Was she even the same person he demarried? I need to talk to her, Nathan said suddenly, urgency lacing his words. I have to get to the bottom of this. We can't just sit here and do nothing. Amanda nodded, tears glistening in her eyes. But what if she won't talk? What if she shuts down? If that happens, I'll push harder. I owe it to you both to understand what's going on and to protect our family, he said, feelings of resolve flooding back. Promise me you'll be careful, Linda added, her eyes pleading. I promise, he said, but he couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning. With a heavy heart, Nathan stood up, sensing both determination and fear coursing through him. He walked toward the door, another wave of emotions washing over him. What if confronting Julia only widened the rift? What if every question came with answers that could shatter their family beyond repair? As he reached for the doorknob, he hesitated. Could there be a safe way to navigate this treacherous terrain? Was there a way to pull them back from the cliff they stood on? Amanda's voice pulled him out of his thoughts. Dad, just promise me one more thing. Anything, he replied. Don't let this change who we are. No matter what happens. Nathan met her gaze, and in that moment, he saw the young girl he had raised, now a woman who carried the weight of their family's fate. He nodded, but deep down uncertainty gnawed at him. As he stepped outside, a gust of cool air swept over him, an ominous reminder that things were about to change forever. Would he be able to salvage what was left? Or would the truth unravel everything? With that thought hanging in the air like a storm cloud, he initiated the journey toward the unknown, prepared for a confrontation that could reshape everything they stood for. Would Julia be prepared to face the truth as well? Nathan stepped outside, the sharp air biting at his skin, but it was nothing compared to the turmoil inside. He felt restless, like a storm about to break. Ignoring the chill, he drove his car with a sense of purpose, heart pounding with each turn he took toward home. Images of Julia played in his mind, the way she laughed at his corny jokes, her comforting hugs after a long day. Yet a dissonance grew as dark thoughts crept in, tarnishing those loving memories. Could this woman who he shared his life with really choose to go down a path that could destroy everything they had built together? The drive felt like an eternity. Nathan's thoughts raced, swirling with questions. What would he even say? How could he initiate a conversation about secrets hidden in the shadows? His grip tightened on the steering wheel as he pulled into the driveway, a familiar sight that now felt alien. He stepped inside, and the silence hung heavy. The house felt empty, devoid of the warmth it once radiated. As he walked through the hallway, the framed photos of happier times caught his eye. Their smiles seemed to mock him now, frozen in moments full of love and trust. Julia? He called out, hoping to hear her familiar voice. The reply was silence. He felt a tingle of dread settle in the pit of his stomach. He found her in the kitchen, stirring something in a pot without looking up. There was an unnatural calmness about her, too calm for the storm that awaited. The air thickened with unspoken words, and the tension was almost unbearable. Hey, he said, his voice barely breaking through the silence. Julia looked up, her expression shifting from concentration to surprise. Nathan, you're home early. Yeah, we need to talk. The bluntness in his tone surprised him, but he knew dodging this would lead to more damage. About what? She asked, but there was a flicker of something in her eyes. Fear? Guilt? He couldn't tell. About you. About what I heard. The spoon dropped from her hand, clattering against the side of the pot. It felt like a gunshot in the quiet kitchen. Julia's face blanched as she processed his words. What do you mean? He took a deep breath, forcing himself to maintain his composure. Ben told me you've been seeing someone. The words felt heavy, like boulders weighing down both their hearts. Her eyes widened. Ben said that? Yes. Anger and sorrow battled within him, making his voice shake slightly. I need to know the truth. Why would you hide this from me? From us? Julia hesitated, her face shadowed with conflict. The minutes dragged on as they stood there, locked in this emotional standoff. Nathan watched her struggle, searching for the right words, desperate for her to say something that would make it all better. Finally she whispered, I didn't want you to get hurt. But here we are, Julia. I'm hurt and I deserve honesty. You can't protect me by lying. This isn't just about you anymore. She sunk into a chair, burying her face in her hands. Nathan's heart sank further. He wanted nothing more than to comfort her, but they were at war, and this battle needed to be fought. After moments that felt like an eternity, Julia looked up, tears shimmering in her eyes. I never meant to betray you. Nathan felt a swell of emotion rise in his chest. He fought against it, aware that healing would take more than tears. Would they be able to confront this truth and emerge stronger, or would this moment mark the beginning of something darker? He stepped closer, barely above a whisper. Tell me everything, please. As she opened her mouth to speak, the air felt electric, charged with the weight of revelation. What was she about to say? Would it bring them back together, or shatter them completely? The truth lay just beyond the horizon, and he felt a mixture of hope and dread. This was a turning point. Whatever came next could change everything. Would they come out on the other side, or would this be the end? Julia took a shaky breath, her gaze drifting to the pot simmering listlessly on the stove. Nathan, I didn't mean for it to happen, she began, each word a fragile whisper, as if saying it too loudly might shatter her world entirely. Then tell me how it did. He pressed, his heart racing. He felt both anxiety and compassion swirling in the air between them. The sight of her vulnerability tore at him, yet he knew they had reached a moment that couldn't be soft-pedaled. She ran her fingers through her hair, a nervous gesture that Nathan knew all too well. It started with the late nights at work. You know how stressful things have been. I met someone who could understand that stress. He flinched at the words. Understand? Or comfort? You can't just gloss over this, Julia. Should I just accept it? You think that makes any sense? It wasn't meant to be anything serious, she exclaimed, her voice breaking. I swear it just happened. I was confused. It was never about us and what we have. I love you, Nathan. The pleading look in her eye dug deep into his heart, but the hurt twisted uncomfortably within him. Did you love him? The question hung in the air like a dark cloud waiting to burst open. Her eyes widened in shock, and her hands instinctively covered her mouth. No, I thought I did because he listened to my fears. But it was just a moment of weakness. I came to my senses almost as quickly as it started. Almost? He echoed bitterly. So you did this for what, validation? To feel wanted? I don't know. She cried, tears spilling over. I felt so lost. It never should have happened. And I hate myself for it. I just didn't want you to find out that way. I never wanted to drag you into my mess. Nathan took a step back, feeling the weight of her pain smashing against his own raw heartache. But you did, Julia. You put your comfort above our commitment. That's the problem. It's real and it's here right now. They stood there, the silence pressing down, drowning them both. The kitchen, once filled with laughter and love, felt like a battleground. He couldn't help but think of their plans, the life they envisioned. Was it all a lie? I never meant to betray you, she repeated, desperation lacing her tone. But you did, he whispered, trying to summon the strength to keep going. It feels like a fracture, and I don't know how to heal it. Is there any way we can fix this? Her voice was small, barely above a whisper. The vulnerability radiated from her. Yet Nathan felt torn between the remnants of what once was and the shadow of what had been broken. I don't know if fixing is possible, he admitted, his voice cracked with uncertainty. Trust is everything. And right now I don't know how to trust you. Julia stepped toward him, hands outstretched, but he instinctively recoiled. Please, I will do anything to make it right. Her plea hung in the air, heavy with emotion. The look in her eyes filled with regret and yearning stung sharply. He wanted to reach out, to comfort her, but a part of him felt betrayed. Would tomorrow bring confrontation or forgiveness? Could a love that felt so fragile be mended? Or was it too late? I need time, he finally said, turning away, walking into the dim hall where shadows clung to the walls. The truth had surfaced, and now uncertainty bubbled where love once flourished. Time. It was an elusive thing, but it was all he had now. As he stood at the door, he felt the weight of every decision hanging in the balance. Would they emerge stronger? Or would this mark the end of everything they had built? In that moment, he felt the storm within him raging again. The dark uncertainty echoing in every corner of the house they had once filled with love. The very thing that once brought him joy now cradled the anxiety of loss. Would the path forward be one of healing or heartbreak? And what if the truth wasn't the end of the story, but just the beginning of a new chapter they'd have to navigate together? The night stretched on, heavy with the weight of unspoken truths and raw emotions. Nathan stood at the door, feeling the darkness close in around him, a shroud woven from fear and uncertainty. His heart fought the memories of the laughter, the love, the life shared. But now it all felt fragile, like glass ready to shatter at the slightest touch. He took a deep breath, steeling himself against the storm rising within. Julia, we can't just sweep this under the rug, Nathan said, turning back to face her. This is the hardest thing we've ever faced. But if we don't confront it now, it could tear us apart forever. I need to know you'll fight for us. Julia's eyes shimmered with disbelief and remorse, each drop of emotion a fleeting hope for reconciliation. I will. Nathan, please. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. It's just so overwhelming. I thought I could protect you from this chaos. Protect me or shield yourself. His words cut deeper than intended. She flinched but stood her ground. Both. I didn't want to feel ashamed. I was wrong to hide this. But my love for you hasn't changed. I promise it hasn't. Outside, the sound of rain lightly tapped at the window, each drop mirroring the conflict, the prickling vulnerability they had both known all too well. Silence enveloped them again, a tangible entity suffocating every intention to rise above the anguish. I wish I could believe you, he choked out. But trust isn't built on just love. It's built on truth. And without that, how can we move forward? I'll be honest from here on out, Julia implored, stepping closer, tears flowing freely now. I'll text Ben to tell him we need to meet. I'll show you that I can be better, that we can be better. Meet him? Nathan echoed, taken aback. Yes. There's a reason he knows these things. It's time he tells you everything he's been keeping from you and me. We have to confront this together. The idea was intoxicating yet terrifying. What if it makes things worse? Maybe. But facing the storm is the only way to find out, right? The authenticity in her voice pierced through the wall he had built around his heart. Looking into her eyes, he saw the struggle mirrored back, the same fight he felt deep down. Okay. But I need you to promise me that you'll be completely transparent. No more hiding. Together or not at all. Promise. As the words left her lips, a sense of determination washed over them. Moments later they left the kitchen, each step echoing their newfound resolve. The air outside felt electric, charged with slight tension but also an exhilarating rush toward possibility. They stepped onto the patio where Amanda was waiting, her face a mix of confusion and concern. Is everything okay? She asked, her voice steady despite the tempest swirling around them. Nathan exchanged a glance with Julia, and he felt a sense of unity, the kind only shared pain can forge. We're going to talk. Together. About everything. Amanda nodded, her expression softening as she understood. Do you think it'll help? She ventured, a flicker of hope glimmering in her eyes. It might, Julia replied, her voice firm. But first we need to be honest with each other. No more secrets. Nathan could see Amanda processing deeply, the wisdom of youth shining through. Hey, I'm ready. I trust you both. Good, Nathan said, feeling warmth penetrate the icy numbness inside him. Because family means taking on the hard stuff together no matter what. And just like that, it felt as if the weight they had all been carrying began to lighten. Hope began to seep back into their hearts. As they gathered together in the living room, Nathan felt a renewed sense of purpose. They were not broken but rather on the cusp of transformation, standing hand in hand against the storm. With each word shared and each emotion laid bare, Nathan knew they would face whatever truths lay ahead together. The sacrifices, the battles, the vulnerabilities, it was all part of their journey. Unity simmered in the air, a promise of resilience born from hardship. And with every moment filled with honesty, they crafted a new narrative, one threaded together by the strength of their love. In that shared vulnerability, hope blossomed anew, and Nathan felt a radiant smile break through, transcending the shadows of uncertainty. It was the spark of something beautiful, plain and tender. As dawn broke through the horizon, illuminating the path before them, Nathan knew that while scars might linger, they were now equipped to heal together, as a family. This was more than just survival. It was a triumphant rebirth, an unwavering commitment to love that would guide them through the storms yet to come. With warmth swelling in their hearts, they stepped forward into the light, knowing that whatever lay ahead was a journey worth embracing as one. Now is the time for you to join this journey. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and show your support. Comment your reactions and feelings about the ending. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Don't wait not even one more second. You need to support the channel if you understand the power of community and truth.